Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another review. And today, I have a beautiful Bluetooth receiver from our good friends over at Ymoo that essentially turns your older stereo, any amplified speaker, or even an older soundbar into a Bluetooth-capable device, which means you can connect this up really quickly and immediately start broadcasting music from your phone, your tablet, your computer to that older device. Now, before I get too deep into the review of the product, I always like to start with an unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit, and that way you understand exactly what you get if you buy the product. And then I'll take a closer look at the actual Bluetooth receiver, and I'll explain the connections you'll need to make, the indicators, the knobs, everything you'll want to know in order to use this once you get it home. I'll also do a demonstration to show you just how simple the product is to use, and I'll point out a few key things that's interesting about this product that you may not find in other products you're considering. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first pop open the box, you'll find the Bluetooth receiver. You'll also find a power cable. It's a USB-A to barrel connection. This can plug into any standard USB wall charger. This plugs into the Bluetooth receiver and provides all the power you'll need. You'll also find an audio output cable. I think it's nice they include this. You can output audio from the RCA connections here, or there's a 3.5mm left and right port right there. You can plug this into the unit, and it terminates in two RCA connections. These are really popular on older soundbars and older home stereos or amplified speakers, so they give you the connections you need to use this. And they also include a charger. So this is a standard 5-volt, 1-amp wall charger. You can plug this into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a USB-A port on it. You can use the cable, connect up the Bluetooth, and you're up and running. So again, it's a very simple product to use. Now, what makes this special is that Bluetooth receivers are pretty common. There's a lot of companies that make them on the market. What separates this from the competition is the fact that they're using the very latest version of Bluetooth, Bluetooth 5.0, which means you're going to get a rock-solid signal at greater distances than other products that may be using a Bluetooth 4 or Bluetooth 3, and it's also a low-power Bluetooth, which means it's not going to draw a lot of current out of the power supply, so it's going to be really good as far as stability and distance goes. You can get up to 50-foot range on this, which means you can be quite a ways away from your stereo. If you're out on the patio and maybe the receiver's across the patio, you'll still have a great connection between your phone and that unit. The other thing that's nice about this, if you decide to use this with other devices, maybe you're connecting up to a TV and you've got speakers near you, the Bluetooth 5.0 is so synchronous, meaning everything is going to line up with the people speaking on the TV and what you're hearing on the other end. It's going to be completely synchronous. Older versions of Bluetooth had a bit of a lag in it, so if you're watching a TV and you're broadcasting that TV to a Bluetooth device near you, you may not actually have the voice and the mouth movements line up, and that can be really frustrating. So the latest version of Bluetooth is built into the device. Incredibly simple device to use, like I'd mentioned. Simply power it up, connect it up to your analog output for your stereo or your soundbar, and you'll have music playing. Another nice feature, and you don't find this on a lot of Bluetooth devices, is they've got a volume control right on the top of it. Now, that's important because you may be sitting near the speakers, and maybe the unit you're broadcasting from is across the room. You can actually lower the volume on the Bluetooth receiver, which is pretty incredible. In addition to that, it's a dual function knob. So if you push in, you can pause music, you can start the music up again. So you have control over the music playing, and you've got control over the volume right at the Bluetooth receiver, which I think is pretty incredible. And the last thing I'll mention is that both of the outputs are live at the same time. And that's unusual because normally a Bluetooth receiver will have a single output and that's all you can use it for. This one, both the RCA and the 3.5mm are active at the same time. So you can connect it up to a home stereo, you can connect the other one up maybe to an amplified speaker and have extra music in the house. So I think they've really thought of everything you can do with a Bluetooth receiver, and I like the product an awful lot. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll take a closer look at the unit, and then I'll walk through a really simple demo to show you just how easy this thing is to use, because it's a couple of connections and you're going to be listening to music. So stay tuned for that. Inside the kit, you'll find a power cable that has a USB-A connection on one end and a barrel connection on the other. The USB-A end plugs into the charger, and the barrel connection plugs into the Bluetooth adapter, provides all the power you need. The nice thing is you can also plug this in your media gear. So if you have a TV or a monitor that has an extra USB-A port on it, just plug it in there. You can eliminate the need for the power supply. You'll also find an audio cable that can be used for connecting the Bluetooth receiver up to your stereo. The one end has a 3.5mm stereo plug on it. The other end has two RCA connections. This plugs into the Bluetooth receiver. This can plug into your stereo, your soundbar, or your amplified speaker. You'll also find a power supply, like I'd mentioned. It's a 5-volt, 1-amp power supply. USB-A port right there that you can use with the power cable. This plugs into any standard wall outlet. You'll also find a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, other information around specifications, things you'll need to understand about the product to use it correctly. Now, the Bluetooth receiver itself has a high-impact plastic case, which makes it really durable and lightweight. On the bottom are 4 rubber feet, so when you set it down, it's not going to skid around on you. On the one end, you'll find all the connections, 3.5mm output, RCA output, and these are for connecting up to your stereo, your soundbar, or your amplified speaker. And you'll find the port for the power cable right there. Make those connections and you're off and running. On the top, you'll find the volume control I mentioned a little while ago, so you can turn the volume up and down, as well as the single button right here in the center that can actually pause the music or restart the music again. So it gives you a lot of control from the Bluetooth adapter, which you don't normally find on other units. I think that's really special. Now I'll show you just how easy it'll be to use this Bluetooth receiver with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up an amplified speaker, and this represents maybe an older home stereo or a soundbar that can only receive an analog signal. Right now I've got a cable plugged in that has 2 RCA jacks on the amplifier end and a 3.5mm stereo plug in this end, which I'll connect up to the Bluetooth receiver. Now you also have the option of using an RCA to RCA cable if that's easier for you. I've also plugged in a power supply over there and I have the Bluetooth receiver in front of me. Now the first connection I'll make is the power supply to the Bluetooth receiver, and I'll show you why in a second. So the other end of that cable has a barrel connection on it, which plugs into the power port on the receiver. And the minute I plug that in, the receiver starts an internal power on self-test where it's checking the electronics, and then it's looking for the device it was paired to last. If it can't find that, it'll start flashing blue and red, and that means it can't find the device. It's not actually paired to anything yet. Now I'm going to pair it to my iPhone. I've got some music on here that I'll actually transmit over to the Bluetooth receiver, and it's a really easy process. You'll basically start on your main screen, and you'll tap your settings button. Then you'll find your Bluetooth settings, and you'll tap that. Give it a second, and it'll actually locate the Bluetooth receiver. If you tap that, it'll take a couple of seconds. There's no password required, and I'm already connected. There we go, so I'm connected. Now I can send music over to the Bluetooth receiver, but I still need to connect it up to the amplifier. So let me do that now. Give me 1 second here. And again, you can tell the amplifier's live. Hear that hum? That's a good old analog amplifier. And I'll plug this into the 3.5mm port on the Bluetooth receiver, and I'm ready to send it some music. So let me play this song. There you go. So now I've got the music, and I can adjust it at the amplifier, obviously turn it down. But some of the cool features that this one provides start with the fact that you can control the volume from the Bluetooth receiver. So for example, if this is in another room, maybe you're broadcasting from a laptop in your office and you're in the room with the speaker, if you can't turn it down at the actual stereo, you can turn it down right here in the Bluetooth receiver. So I'll turn this up a little bit. Watch this. Just by turning the knob, I can turn it down and turn it up. Really loud. The other cool feature is that you can actually pause the music from here by tapping that button. So it's a multifunction knob on the front. Watch this. It stops the music. So it's actually communicating back over that Bluetooth connection to my iPhone to stop the music and start the music by tapping it again. So unlike a lot of other Bluetooth receivers on the market that are basically just a Bluetooth receiver and you kind of hope for the best for transmission, this one has the Bluetooth 5.0 built into it, which means I'm going to have a rock solid connection between the device and the Bluetooth receiver. Let me turn it down a little bit. For up to 50 feet away, which is a really long distance for Bluetooth. But what I like so much about it in addition to that is I can control the volume right here, and I can also pause the music and start the music right here as well. So the functions built into this really separate it from a lot of other Bluetooth receivers on the market. I hope you found this review helpful. I really enjoy reviewing content like this and these type of technologies. So until next time, stay nerdy.